It's often our pursuit of success that leads to our inevitable downfall. This is something I need to actually constantly remind myself of when I'm launching a new product or helping a business grow. It is so often the focus on the success that actually leads to the downfall because we don't have the right foundations in place for when bad things come along. I was reminded of this recently when I started playing Spire 2. Now, if you're anything like me, you've spent a lot of hours since this new beta has come out and have been obsessed with it. And so in this video, I'm going to be going over a perspective shift that it actually introduced to me when I was playing this game and how you can apply that to your real life business to make sure that you don't have that failure because you focus so much on success. And so the question is, what is this insight that I gained from playing this game again? And that is simply that success today equals failure tomorrow. Now, let me break this down. I'm not saying that you should not succeed in your business. That's absolutely something you should be achieving in life. And if you are trying to make a living off your business, you should be able to actually succeed in doing that. But the trick that happens is when you are chasing success purely for the quick metric, purely for that quick win so you can go, yes, I have succeeded, now let's keep going. But see, if you keep running headfirst into walls, then chances are there's going to be one eventually that will not break. You're going to hit the wall and go, oh God, that hurt. I don't know what to do now. There is this impassable wall that I have no control over whether or not I can actually succeed in breaking through it. And the way you break through that wall is simply by making sure that ahead of time you've put in the right structure and foundations to make sure that you have enough propulsion to break through that wall when it happens. Now, admittedly, this is not always an easy thing to actually just go, oh cool, I've done the foundations and now I know what to do, because you don't always know what to do. You don't always know exactly what the right actions you're going to be taking for these random problems that are going to pop up in the future. And then throughout all that, you also need to make sure you can still pay your bills by actually getting success today. So what is the balance that you need to follow in order to actually get through all this? See, and that's when I had the epiphany when it came to the Slay the Spire 2 game. See, in this game, basically you choose a class and you are trying to work through this piping line in order to get through to the final boss at the end. Do this multiple times, eventually you complete the run. And now on the map, you can see that there are different symbols. Each of these symbols is a different type of encounter. There's the basic encounter, the shop, the random encounter, the elite, and then finally the boss at the end, along with some rest sites along the way to make sure that you are healed up. But the thing that I failed at when I started doing was going, oh, the random encounter. I am someone who loves chaos in games. I love playing around with what the hell is going to happen if I do this. And those random encounters were exactly that. It was this sort of gamble of going, am I going to get something amazing? Am I going to fail completely? And that small win, if I did get that, made me feel like, oh, okay, cool, I've done the right thing. But that's actually incorrect. See, when you're starting the game, it's a deck builder game, so you want to get the best cards possible when you are actually building your deck at the start. And the way you get cards is by fighting enemies. Now, chances are, if you're anything like me, you're going to avoid the simple battles. Now, these are the ones that you're going to have to do every now and again, but these are also the ones that get you the cards to help build out your deck, to help figure out what build you're going to be doing consecutively so that you can succeed as you get further along. See, because when you're playing each of these characters, there's different synergies, but in order to get those synergies correct, you need to have a collection of cards and know exactly what you have so you can build those synergies. Along the way, you can upgrade cards that are already in your deck and whatnot, but you need to have those cards first in order to make sure that you can utilize those different actions later on. And so simply doing the boring thing at the beginning of the run leads to a successful victory at the end of it when you're versing the boss because you have the right cards, you've upgraded them all the while, and now you have a successful build that is going to lead you past that victory. And so this got me thinking, what in business have I always done that led me to the failures that are actually going to be the things I remember next time going, oh, don't do that. I need to avoid that at all costs. And the biggest one I always found is simply the impatience I have and the all-consuming mentality of, oh, I've made this thing, therefore that's going to be the success. I spend months and months building this one product and then launch it only to find out that no one wants to buy it because no one even knows it exists. I haven't put in the groundwork to make sure that there's an audience around that thing that I've made. See, I haven't versed each of the normal enemies that are going to help me build out my deck, build out exactly what I'm going to be doing going forward to make sure that it's successful. If I'm doing a launch, I need to have an audience that is interested in that thing. Okay, well, how do I do that? Well, then instead of just trying to immediately start selling this thing, I need to start building that audience. I need to start building that growth. I need to start building the relationship between me and the eventual customer. And how do I do that? Well, I shouldn't be just going, oh, buy this thing, buy this thing, buy this thing, which is what I did in the past. It was something that I always thought, oh, well, you need to sell. You need to make sure that people are aware you're selling something, so therefore they're going to go buy it. But no one's going to care about a guy who's selling a random thing that's completely irrelevant to an audience that doesn't know who he is. And so that's where I actually started building out all of these other aspects that are completely free that just bring value to people. See, if I build the value for people, they're going to go, oh, that's interesting. Let me see what more is happening here. And eventually, over time, you're going to build the connection with the audience. Now, admittedly, I can't remember where this is from, but there's a concept in selling where it is the more touch points you have with someone, the more likely they are going to buy from you. Most times when you're selling something, it isn't going to be the first touch point. The first time someone is aware of you, they're going to buy. Now, unless it's something that's really sort of trivial and they're on their way going, oh, that's fun, I'll buy that. That can happen, but you shouldn't rely on those. Instead, what you should do is build an audience. You should start building up those touch points. They see a video here, they read a transcript there from your name, they start on a call with you randomly. that these different touch points bring up this sort of relationship aspect. It brings up the reliability of you as an entity that they are connected to. And once they're connected, they'll start involving themselves more until eventually they see your product and go, oh wow, this guy's made this perfect thing for my exact situation. And because I know them as a person, I believe that they are going to follow through with the promises that that thing has. That's exactly why I have the 2-week tutorial. Now, if you're unaware, this is a 2-week email sequence that I give out completely for free that helps give different terms of gamifying life and daily quests that help bring those touch point up. By the end of it, they've had 20 touch points, including the original video in which they learnt about. So once there's 21 touch points, chances are they're more likely going to be buying the real life RPG or something like that. And so if building something like this is interesting to you, feel free to click the link in the description. Yes, I'm being completely aware right now that I'm sending you through that funnel to bring up those touch points, but it will give you an insight to how to build those touch points. I don't start selling the moment I click into these emails. The first few days are just, hey, here's how you do this, here's how you do this. Eventually, I start mentioning that I have a product that people can buy. And all the while, I'm still making more videos, and chances are if they're signed up to that, they're going to be seeing these videos more because they engage with the video, they engage with the link that was in the video that then led them to that. And so by doing that, I'm building up these touch points, I'm building out my deck that I'm going to then use to defeat the eventual boss. And the realization is that I don't need sales day one. Yes, it would be lovely to have them, but it's not necessary. But eventually, after a few days of people going through this funnel and figuring out, oh, there's actually value in what this person is bringing to me, I'm going to start delving more into what they are completely. I'm going to see what that product is and go, oh, actually, that solves a problem of mine, I'm going to buy it. And by doing that, I'm not only just selling the product more often, I'm selling it to the people that are actually invested in me and the furthering of the journey between us. I'm not just building an audience, I'm building a relationship between myself and everyone who watches and consumes my content. And again, this can be done in a multitude of ways. It can be more content, it can be a sales funnel, it can be something that brings them value on a regular basis. This could be automation, this could be the email sequences, whatever it is. Try playing around, seeing if you can actually build value before you try and sell. See how you can go through and build your deck before you have to verse that boss. Because once you've upgraded all your cards and you have your build correct, you are ready for that final boss. You're ready for that wall that you couldn't break through before that now is simply a single strike away.